Hey guys, I'm Mike from Wizards. Welcome back to Toadigawa, my homebrew, grung-inspired frog samurai adventure. You guys been paying attention to our small little Let's Play D&D series with the Wizards crew. I really thank you guys for taking the time to watch us and listen to us learn how to play D&D through Roll20, learn how to play D&D in general, and really just, have a good time. Play some games, shoot some bad guys, do some RP, and crack some pretty questionable jokes. But I'm super excited to have everybody back here. Let's give a quick shout out from everybody, starting with Ray. Hey Ray, what's up?
Nothing.
Why don't you remind us about your character?
Oh, yes, my character is Flyjimoto. Either Flyg for short or Moto for short. Everybody's been a little back and forth about which way we're going to say it. I am a wild magic sorcerer, and I really like fire.
All right, killer. I liked it. Well played. That's a good. It's so succinct. I have nothing to add. Welcome back, Bryn. You're up, my dude. Welcome back, dude. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Mike. How are you?
I'm excellent, man. Why don't you reintroduce us to the old man here?
I am Noshitoadi. I am a sun cleric. I'm the crotchety old man of the group. I'm here to judge everyone else for the mistakes that they make that I am wise enough to avoid.
I like how you lead with that. I will judge everyone else, and then it sounds reasonable. Pretty good. Slick. Reintroducing our old pal Jordan. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. I'm excellent. Really pumped for tonight.
Yeah, me too. So I'm Tongueke. I am a ninja, and ninja can mean a lot of things. It means good at hiding, but it also means sometimes you like to hide from danger, which I tend to do a lot. So that's my character.
Nice. Very good. I love it. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. And finishing with the big and best, my dude. What's up, Will, man?
Hello.
King Will in the house.
I am in the house.
Your campaigns are going well too.
Yeah, they go. People are screaming in the streets. There's no power. Tieflings are telling kids to believe in their dreams and become the next Harry Potter. So that's going great.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. That's awesome. Why don't you give us a shout out to Nobufroga?
So the Froga that I am playing is a nobleman of sorts who's seeking to get his name out there, but is also the opposite of Bryn's frog, which he is more young and strong-headed to go into the combat than he is to actually watch people fail.
Okay,
And just like kind of not cool at all.
Yeah, very stereotypical weeby samurai.
Zing! Yeah, man. I gotta say, you guys, I loved watching back the videos from last time. I thought you guys all did a really good job with your characters. Especially, just a quick shout out to Jordan and Ray for their first time. Well played, guys.
Woot woot!
Yeah.
Well played. Well, to recap, welcome back to Toadigawa. Last time on our very first adventure, the four of us and our mutual acquaintance, Frog Wandong, accepted a job from a couple peasants. The peasants lived in a farming village and were having troubles with bandits raiding them. We accepted the job for a smaller amount of coin than probably any of us would have liked, but some of us did it for various reasons. Our own honor, personal gain, a chance for redemption, whatever. On the route from the city to the small village, Fukushima, where these farmers were from, the farmer who contracted our services, Frogatushi, explained they were besieged by a group of bandits with a fearsome leader when we were set upon by a group of said bandits. Their leader, a frog named Mushitoda, went toe-to-toe with Nobufroga as the rest of the crew hastily dispatched most of the other members. So a couple good highlights of Flyjimoto hopping over everyone, shooting fire. Noshitoada to go in 2-on-1 and basically schooling them. And Tongueke hopping around and hiding and even taking a guy's head, I think, first kill.
Yeah.
So some good times last time. We arrived at Frogashima to find this charming little village where Frogatushi introduced us to his wife, Kokune. They fed us. We had a brief break. After nightfall, we met with the rest of the villagers, who then ended up discussing what was to be done next. What we noted during that meeting was a couple, I should say, not several. It makes it sound like we didn't take a bunch of them out. A couple of the bandits managed to get away, which means that they probably know that help has arrived at Fukushima. Or at the very least, that the help that has arrived has killed and defeated several members of this bandit clan. Something they would not take lightly. We are probably to expect them. We also caught a brief word of their estimated force, around 30 men. Men and zombies, maybe more. Zombies, as the leader of this group, is a fearsome toad covered in warts and a user of a black necromantic magic. Toad named Krokitoda. The townsfolk seemed scared of the bandits, let alone the mention of this necromancer who leads them. They seem quite scared, and we're going to pick up still in the middle of this meeting, kind of where we left off, as we get only so much time to plan out our next moves. I will turn it over to you guys, the brief prompting from Frogatushi. What will we do now? He says.
Well, I'm looking at Flyjimoto because you're our leader. So, what's the plan here?
Always looking at me. I think it's too late to do anything about this today. I say we rest and heal our wounds. Head out at first light.
Yes, Frogatushi says, but we can plan at least, surely.
Just out of curiosity, this place we're heading out to, does it have lots of bushes, lots of stumps? What's the landscape like?
Head out? Head out where?
Are we meeting them on the battlefield, or are we waiting for them to come to us? Because that seems sketchy.
We haven't discussed it, he says.
Well, what are we thinking then, boys? Do we make camp here and set up a refuge? Or do we head out and try and meet them on unknown grounds?
I'm looking at old man Frogatushi. I mean, you're old, you have wisdom. What do you think?
Me? I'm just a farmer.
Oh, I think I mixed up you with... Where's... Oh, noshitoadi. That's what I meant.
I'm just an old priest. What would I know of combat?
Didn't you used to have a background in fighting? Is that not what you said to us before?
Well, maybe, but your guy doesn't know that.
No.
Does anyone have
Do you have a
combat
background?
experience?
One of the townsfolk at the back here says, surely the four of you don't mean to take on all 30 of them in
All
the
30
open
of them?
field?
All 30 of them? Are these confirmed numbers?
Frogatushi shakes his head and he says, rumored.
Well, 4 of us in an open field against 30 doesn't seem wise to me, boys.
We'll take volunteers. Anyone here want to volunteer? I see lots of kids with their hands up.
You would send the children to slaughter.
You know, young, fast, fit. They're more sneaky. Don't underestimate kids. They're small. They can go behind bushes, stumps.
They
I
will
can
throw
lead it.
endless waves at us, and we must answer in kind.
He speaks. One of the townsfolk over here says,
It's
looking at
war, I mean.
Nobufroga,
We gotta do what we gotta do.
perhaps you have a strategy, Master Samurai. Looking at Nobufroga.
Froga kind of thinks, he says, do we know any of the areas which they might be operating in so that we may scout out ahead? Or do you have any information of popular roads that they might use?
Let's make a dice roll here. Frogatushi kind of nods, and they look around at a couple of the other townsfolk, and they converse. And Frogatushi walks up to them, and then walks back, and he says, or turns around and just says, "Oh, apparently he morphs into a weird, huge blob."
Oh, if they can morph into huge blobs, I don't think we have to worry about them.
Hold up, made him like really offsize somehow. Right on. Sorry, he like steps forward and says, "Yes, if you guys zoom out, he takes you guys on a brief tour. He says, yes, and he moves past you. This road to the north. This is the only other road in or out of the village proper. It carries onward to the great city of Kyoto-Shikama."
All right, well then again, I repeat my question. Along this road, lots of stumps, lots of bushes. What's the terrain like over there?
That one is mostly, it is a rocky road through the forest. Treacherous, to say the least. That's why we came by, and he moves again. That's why we came by the south road, and he points well to the back, where we came in.
Yeah, but in the
South Road.
forest, we should be able to get better coverage, would we not?
Yes, it is also harder to move a force through there. They know of the south and the north road. The north road gives them better coverage, but it also is harder to move as many men through. The south road offers less protection, but is easier to move a large force through. He then points to way over here. He says, the road to the southeast leads to the pastures, our fields of rice and grain.
So we'll definitely have to protect those.
Yeah, we wouldn't want
Is-
them destroying the town's crops.
Off the main road, but it is almost harvest time. Could potentially harvest early. As a bunch of the townsfolk crumble in response. And he says, the last way in and out of town is no way out of town. This road to the east leads to the village shrine. A small island with a temple and a statue set just off the coast. Just a 10-minute walk east.
Well, my thoughts are because we just slayed a bandito general. No doubt the higher-ups will know and send troops our direction. So what if we set up a trap, prepare for them to come to us?
That sounds good to me. I mean, we know where they're coming from, most likely. We said they're this road over here. And we said it would be best to attack them in the forest. What if we set up a blockade and we sent out people from the village to send out a blockade that will lead them towards the forest, and then we meet them there?
I don't mind that idea. Especially because I can shoot magic farther than you guys can do closer hand-to-hand combat. It might give us an advantage.
I think the sword guy can only hit people with sword if they're near him.
Oh, I know you can handle yourself, man. Especially against banditos who can't shoot arrows.
Did they have any wagons?
Yes, we have several wagons for moving crops. We have farming materials, but they may be of some use to you.
Would it ruin them if they got destroyed?
Those are my wagons, Frogatushi, one of the guy at the back shouts, and his friend claps him around the ear. He says, quiet, you fool. Do you think that we will live if your wagons are untouched when they come back? And Frogatushi looks back at you and shrugs as a response.
Well, if the forest is harder to move through, and we're full of farmers in this village, and especially if they've been dealing with these people for a while, it would be safe to assume that there are a couple of people here that might be more better at sneaking around these bandits to move from the village. So I would suggest that we use the resources we have of strong workers to chop down some supplies from the forest to kind of funnel them, to force them to move through. And the little bits that we have left over we can use to make traps and walls and stuff along with the carts in the other main road that we want to funnel them to. Then those who are stealthy at sneaking around we can use as watchmen or intel gatherers in case they try to catch us earlier than we expect.
So you're saying we send out some scouts, some workers, and bring back supplies to funnel through the forest the way that we want into our traps back and walls back here?
Yes, by turning the forest into our own creation, we can use the leftover supplies of pushing boulders and cutting down trees to make pits and walls to help us with the other resources in your village after this. So that way no resource goes unwasted.
The townsfolk kind of begin grumbling, nodding, and want the back. We may not know how to fight, but we know how to work.
Well, come on then, boys. Let's get these guys to work.
Don't forget the kids. The sneaky kids.
A strong
The
fighter.
sneaky kids? Are you going to teach the sneaky kids your ninja ways?
I mean, I if I have enough time, I can teach them a trick or two, I think. I'll take
I
youth.
thought you were to be the stealthiest of us all.
The man with the head should be leader of the scouts.
Deal.
Oh my gosh, that's so like Lord of the Flies.
I mean, I've got the head and everything. The severed head. Not a pig, but...
This is a good plan. I feel confident, perhaps. One of the members of the tribe from the back row walks in. He says, Frogatushi, I went along when you discussed your plan to bring in the outsiders to defend our village. And I tolerated everything. What I can tolerate is no longer. And he looks past him to you all, and he says, how do you expect some walls and traps to defeat 30 men? 4 on 30.
Well, you see, young Nobu here is an indomitable swordsman. We can stop them from getting to him more than 2 at a time.
A river or an ocean looked at without any rocks or without any jagged rocks in it looks like an uncontrollable force. But once one speckle of dust or rock falls into it, you get a channel which can be more controlled and more controllable.
There's some murmur among the men and ladies gathered here of assent. Roll a persuasion check, please, Froga. 18 among them, and Frogatushi steps up and he says, "See, do you see? With them leading us, we could learn to fight. We could be that pebble of sand in the great river that is the enemy. We could defend ourselves and keep our entire crop this year." They all begin cheering, and they're going crazy, and they begin cheering your guys' name. They say, Frogushima 4, Frogushima 4, Frogushima 4. They begin chanting your guys' names. Frogatushi walks up and leads you guys back into his house, willing to defend themselves and follow your guys' plan at least. It seems more thorough. As they all kind of celebrate and share a brief drink of rice wine, they offer you guys some.
I will take naught, for it's better to have a clear head.
They begin retiring slowly, one by one. And they nod and bow in respect to you all. Frogatushi leads you back to his place. He says, "You can spend the night with us." He says, "Yes, I've made the beds already. We would be honored." Bow. Frogatushi looks up and he says, "Thank you. Strategy. Your skill might give us a chance."
Well, I'm going to party with these guys and have some wine, because I just took out a big daddy. So let's celebrate, boys.
They cheer.
We're partying with the townsfolk. We're partying like it's 1885. I don't know what year it is. In this
Like
town.
like it's 40 years before current year.
Yeah, technically it would be like party like it's 211 like AWC or something like that.
211.
So the current year would be like 251.
Party like those
Well, then we're
Americans.
gonna shout
who are
251.
upset about tea.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we spend our night sleeping, staying up, praying.
You're out.
As we
How tired is our characters feeling?
probably not crazy tired because you did rest a little bit when you got back. You know what I mean?
So as Flyji is partying and Tongueke is kind of sitting around, violently shaking on a tree stump with a severed head in his arms,
To me.
I'm going to walk over to the old man, and I will see him, and I will sit by him, and I ask if you have any sort of experience. I've caught a glimpse of what may be under your robes, and wondered that no normal cleric of a shrine travels in such a manner.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry,
say,
you peeked under his robes?
So, like, as he was fighting, like I'm thinking old traditional robes. So
Okay,
they're not the
I'm
Yeah,
like
like-
sexual
tightest.
there.
Yeah.
yeah, my guy's wearing like traditional priest robes, but underneath it I'm wearing scale mail.
Okay, I'm like, that sounded really pervy, guys. We want to be friends with him, not peek under his robes.
This is supposed to be a PG-13 rated show, guys. Let's.
What do you mean my frog
just
can't like other
My
male
bad, I'm
frogs?
going back to partying.
I'm just kidding. He just has to consent to you peeking under his robe first.
I was going to say
why?
something worse than that.
Sorry, I know I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Carry on. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's what I say.
What kind of animals would we ride that are not horses because we're tiny?
Like dogs.
Yeah, you guys would ride like dogs. Traditionally, in this area, you guys would ride these lizards. They're called Tongueke. So T-O. Here, let me type it in for you.
Oh, heck yeah. I want a Tongueke.
Come on, ride the lizard.
We're gonna ride the lizard.
The lizard. We're gonna
So
ride
it's
the
like
lizard.
those. It's like these lizard mounts. So they're like residents to the sickle claw swamps in Dentary. They've traditionally been predators of the grung, but with the grung's advancement in the last couple centuries, they've taken to domesticating small herds of them as like labor. Some and they come in varying shapes and sizes. So sometimes they'll capture large ones and breed them large as pack animals, or more slimmer, faster ones as riding mounts, things like that.
All right. Well, in answer to Nobu, I'll say, the wise man trusts in Amaterasu, but ties up his lizard.
I kind of sit there and think on it. I don't quite get it yet. And Sayon says, "This sounds like you do have some sort of knowledge in this."
I have faith in the gods, but trust in my own ability to protect myself.
I kind of pass him a drink, but it's not wine. It's like actual just water. And the frog will kind of, Nobu will kind of bow to him and it says, "This is few reasons why I do not agree with my family. The why should still be able to teach and not be ignored. I have plans for tonight if you're willing to listen. We require the help of Tongueke." So Nobu sits there and he kind of pulls out a map. I'm guessing we can use the map that they had, right? I believe they showed us a map last time.
Like of the. Yes. Of the village? Yes, sorry.
Yeah. So, I'm going to grab the map by asking, and I'm going to lay it out somewhere kind of off to the side where we don't have to worry about getting wrecked or interrupted. And I'm going to kind of like point out areas as I'm speaking. I pull up the map and I point to the forest area. I say, I am thinking to use this area as a funnel, just like originally. The forest, the trees here, I'm guessing the trees are like those big ones that grow in forests, right? Like those ginormous ones, or are they like a pine tree?
They're quite large, deciduous. Wait, yeah, deciduous trees. Sorry, I really had to double check on that one. My junior high science failed me for a second.
Just like a caged bull, we would be able to block off the areas to force our enemies to go to the other, more opened area, thus using the remaining trees as pitfalls and spikes.
Yes, control the battlefield and you control your enemy.
Yes. As a great one has once told me, he without shelter is without hope. So by depriving them of their shelter and their ability to hide their movements, with the help of Tongueke, we should be able to have first glance on them and be able to have the drop on them.
Heck yeah. I kind of overhear this and I come over and I go, but in order to do this, I'm still a little nervous that this is coming, so I'm going to go look for troops or volunteers, preferably sneaky people. Youth and children welcome. And any middle-aged people who tend to be smaller and sneakier.
I am genuinely concerned about your use of small children.
Not in a weird way. Just in a way
well,
that...
you're carrying around a, dismembered head, so how am I supposed to take it?
Hey, when I was a young boy, my papa also taught me to dismember heads. This is a thrill for any young tadpole.
Young tadpole. Okay, so let's
Points.
gather all the young tadpoles of the village and teach them to dismember heads. Got it. We're on the same page. I'm gonna keep drinking wine with these guys now.
See? If they,
So to clarify, Will, just so I can kind of get an eye on your plan, you mean to block off the North Pass entirely and force them on the southwest one?
kind of, like old style, those wooden bunkers that they would make, kind of like a pillbox but out of wood.
Yeah, like a palisade.
Yeah, it's like that, except for we're using the forest's natural sort of environment and cutting down some trees to kind of block them. So it's like they have to kind of subconsciously kind of move to the path that we want them to.
Oh, so you mean to just limit, so force them all on the same path in the...
Yeah, by digging holes and cutting down trees and possibly maybe directing water, we can kind of force them to have to go somewhere else.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I just thought for a second you guys were talking about blocking off the whole North Pass and making them go south. I just wanted to be clear on what the heck y'all were playing.
Yeah, unless it's quicker to do that, because I don't know the full, I haven't seen a picture of the full area. Basically, whatever one's quicker and closer, because in case we are working on it and they come in, we can pull the people out quicker than, say, if they were all the way at 2 miles away or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wood that
So
we
the-
cut. Oh.
Yeah, for sure. The forest starts kind of right at the north edge of this map, and it's not the thickest of woods, but it does go they're quite large trees, and it does go for quite a while.
So then I'll ask the wise frog if he believes that using the material to change the forest or to block the path and make it a sort of shield wall would be better.
Sorry, you're referring to noshitoadi?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just consulting my character sheet here.
If you're unsure and you need to make a dice roll to help you out, that's always an option.
Sure, let's throw... I can just throw basic wisdom, right?
Yeah. You could also do a history check to see how much... Oh, never
Oh
mind.
my. Okay.
You do that.
Yeah, so what are you trying to learn with this roll, dude?
I'm trying to determine whether my character would know enough to see whether if we block the road entirely, they will simply choose a different path. If we allow some of them to get through, they will attempt to force their way through the path that we have chosen. Yeah, I was just not certain if my guy would know enough.
Yep, I think on a nat 20 total 22, which is a sick, excuse my language, but you crushed it. But you definitely be able, basically whatever Bryn can rationalize here, I think
If you dam the stream, it will choose its own path. If you allow some of the water to run off along a path of your choosing, it will follow that path. If we allow some of them to move through the road that we want them to use, they will use that road. If we block the road entirely, they will pick a different path.
Yeah, I'll sit there and kind of, Nobu kind of rubs his chin, and he thanks and looks over at the people in the town, and he kind of looks over to Toady there and says, "Do you think these people would be able to hold back a select few that go through if we were to have two fronts, or do we risk taking the full brunt of it in the open fields? Because if a stronger force, if I've seen them, if we had more time to train, I would be safer to split the forces and attack on two sides, a pincer maneuver."
How many of them do you think we can deal with at a time? If they're right and there are only 30 of them, how much of a delay do we truly need to cause?
This is why Tongueke will be of great help. 30 is just a number. It is not a statistic or a description of size. Do they have ranged weapons? I believe if there is a way, thinking about this, wise man, you brought this into my thoughts, maybe blocking the path through the open fields and forcing them to move through a booby-trapped jungle might be safer for these villagers, especially if ranged weapons is involved. Knowing the sneaky, dastardous bandits as they might be, they're not going to be against using dirty tricks.
This is true.
With that, I'm going to go find Tongueke, wherever he is. Over here. And I'm going to poke him on the shoulder.
Oh, hello.
Nobu looks him over and sees he's like talking to people and stuff. Says, we require your assistance now, Tongueke.
Okay. I'm just getting some posters up, signing some people up, but I can take a break from that for now.
Okay.
What do you need?
Small force for this might be more suitable. And
That's what I was thinking.
And I'll say, we require you to scout out the plain area to the north there, the open fields. Find if there's a way for us to be able to block the entrance to the village from there. And if you get a sight of any bandits, be able to keep your safe distance, but tell us if you notice anything more than just what we fought before.
Just by myself. I think I'll see if anyone want to come with me for a little midnight jog. We're gonna go check out some stuff. I try and ask some villagers nearby. Might need some might need some assistance. But yes, I am willing.
I'll move over and place my hand on Tongueke's shoulder. One is stealthier than many.
Okay, just one person. I just need one volunteer. Anybody.
A younger farmer who looks a lot more haughty and kind of upset, looks around. He says, "All you old men unwilling to fight." And he raises his hands. He says, my name is Jibatung. I will help."
All right, Jibatung. Perfect. Let's head out this way. We're gonna go just check up on some stuff. I don't think there'll be any fighting necessary, but I do like I like the pep in your step. But we're just gonna go see if we can spot any bandits, keep everybody safe, that kind of thing, and we're gonna report back. Oh yeah, we're sneaking. Are you a sneaky guy? You a sneaky frog?
We're scouts?
I prefer the term ninjas, but scouts, that's fine.
I like sneaky frog.
Sneaky frog is also.
He nods and he says, "One moment." And he runs over here, hops like over the building, and you hear him rummaging on the other side, and he runs back around and moves back into sight. He seems to have a short bow on him, and he looks up. He says, "I hunt in the forest to the north. I know my way around pretty well."
Well, I have a feeling this is going to be an amazing partnership, Jibatung. Let's go. Let's check this place out.
He nods. So we're, to clarify out of character, you guys are going to go into the forest to scout ahead, just to keep an eye on stuff. look for potential places to lay traps and stuff?
Yeah, just making sure the bandits aren't close by. I believe that's what you were saying, Nobufroga, right?
I'd say like that's like a thing to do too, but like the main one right now is we need to find out how we can basically block or slow down their movement from the north, seeing as it's more open, so that they are more forced to go, like a majority of them or all of them are forced to go through the forest where we have more control.
And lead them to the stumps. All right, yes. Gotcha.
Their stumpy demise.
Exactly.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, Tongueke, you and Jibatung are going out at the moment. You guys are going to roll, first of all, stealth checks.
That's incredible. You've got a +7 on any of your abilities? I'm old and frail.
Well, you know, I don't
Old and frail,
like to
but
brag.
like can take it just as many sure as anybody else.
Is that a
Let's not
compliment
forget
I
how
hear?
you just like warded off all attacks last time.
Everybody, Flyjimoto is complimenting someone. I haven't heard this before.
It's out of character. It's out of character.
Yeah.
She's
My
out of
character
character.
is currently partying with the villagers, like we should be
It's the
after the
alcohol
battle.
speaking.
It's the alcohol speaking. Nice. Well played. 11 on a +7. Yeah, that's not a great roll. Poor guy. This guy is going to roll a 23. That is a much better.
Man, if you can stalk a deer, you can stalk a man.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. You guys head north and blend into the forest. We're going to make 2 more skill checks here, guys, and that's what the first half of this is going to be. This is going to be kind of our skill check portion while you guys are crushing it, while we make our plans and do some of this stuff. Tongueke, you and Jibatong need to look for areas of strategy or strategic advantage throughout the forest. So that is either probably a survival check, I would say.
Sure thing.
Maybe a nature check as well. The other one would be perception, to keep an eye out for anybody coming. Jibatong looks at you and he says, "I know the land very well."
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because I don't know this land at all. But I have an eye for sneaking around, and so I see that we have a few vantage points here. But yeah, maybe if you pay attention, you'll learn something, and I don't know, maybe I'll learn something too.
So you can roll perception or survival, and you can both roll one or the other, but
Okay.
you can both only roll one.
Okay, I would choose perception. I think that would be my go-to.
What would you like him to do? Survival?
Yeah, let's have him do survival.
Okie dokie. Okay. You guys head north into the darkness of the forest. You guys head north into the forest, unseen by most everybody as you fade into the darkness. Noshi and Nobu and Flyji. Flyji, what are you up to? Why don't you roll a Constitution check for me?
A constitution? I'm drunk.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna decide right now is how drunk you are. Oh, this is pretty commonplace, I think, for Flyji. Their own liquor, quite well.
Am I quite liquored on the town's rice wine?
Oh, you're just pleasantly buzzed. You're doing quite good, and you've had
I'm
quite a lot to drink.
buzzed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite the ample amount that you've had, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm receiving everybody's praise for defeating the general, so I'm feeling pretty fly. I'm pretty Flyjimoto.
Pretty fly for a frog.
Pretty fry for a frog guy.
Flyjimoto.
I'm so fly for a frog guy, you guys don't know.
That's awesome.
You're over here planning the next day already, and I'm enjoying the bounty of our squander.
What about Nobu and Noshi? Are you guys still doing stuff before sleep times? Or before the end of the night, I should say. Sorry.
Nobu probably wants to go check out the forest. And kind of walk around a bit with Toady, and kind of talk plans. Maybe point out like here's a pit and like mark it on the map, and like find quick ways to escape, stuff like that.
Okay, so you guys would be doing like the slower, kind of more out in the open version of what Jibatong and Tongueke went to do.
Yeah.
So they're like the advanced scouts, and you're kind of the behind scouts.
Yeah, like I want to mark stuff on the map, like make sure I know, like, hey, if we get flanked here, we can run to this cave here, or like, hey, they can use this cave to get to the village.
Okay. You guys
Survey.
can roll survival or nature for the. Likewise, you can both roll the same check, but you can't roll twice. Okie
Well,
dokie.
we're pretty soft at this.
Flyg, would you be partying until everybody else kind of puts it in?
I am drunk. I am drunk.
All right.
Yeah, I am a young hotshot wizard. And I'm feeling my wizardry right now because this liquid has got me feeling fly.
roll a charisma check, just a regular old charisma check.
Boom.
Boom. Some of the people are starting to get put off by your more brash liquor-fueled antics, but so you've got like a little cheer section with you now that seem to be really enjoying.
Oh, well, I am thriving in my cheer section. Fudgy, fudgy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool. Out in the forest, we're gonna cut scenes really quick, and there's gonna be a little bit of stuff that happens before the end.